Haha. I hope you like that little intro. In case, I guess I should have this on. In case you weren't wondering, today is Friday the 13th. So I decided to go a little spooky this time. But I'll talk about more spookiness as we get into the Big Brother recap show. I'm going to take this a little bit. Hope you don't mind. I'm going to keep this on. Okay, so what's up, everybody? Another week in the Big Brother house has come to an end. And I have so much to talk about on this live stream. So let's dive right into it as we get into the spoiler board. Alrighty. You can see my face, right? You know what? Screw it. Let's just turn on the light. Let's just turn on the light. That's better. Okay. So here are the spoilers for this week. First off, the head of household. Oh, look at that. It's our buddy Derek X. He won head of household this week. All right. So who were Derek's targets this week before the veto? Gotta check something real quick. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. So here are the nominees for before the veto. Again, Brittany. What in the world is Brittany doing on the block? Seriously, she's just becoming more expendable every week. Well, anyway, her second nomination, Derek's second nominee for the week was Sarah. Oh no, Sarah Beth. My final two pick was sitting on the block this week. Yeah, that's not a good scenario. Let me tell you, it was a week. I was so terrified. Let's move on. Only good can come from this veto win, depending on who wins it. So who was the veto winner this week? Brittany. Yes. All that time on the block and you finally get your veto win. Congratulations, Brittany. Much deserved. And of course, the veto is used because she's on the block. She's going to save herself. That would be the smart move. So Brittany has saved herself. So who is going to sit on the block next to my girl? None other than... Oh, Mr. Christian. Oh, wise choice. Let's see if this pays off. So a little good old-fashioned backdoor this week. So let's see if it paid off. Here are the eviction results for this week. Eviction number 5. Looks like we have Hannah, Kylan, Brittany, Derek F., Tiffany, Claire, and Azah. As for Sarah Beth, we have Xavier, and we have Alyssa. Those are the only 2 votes this week for Sarah Beth. All right, here we go at the memory wall. Get your clickers out as we get ready to send another house guest home in 3, 2, 1. Paint it to black and white right here. So by a vote of 7-2, Christian has been evicted from the Big Brother house. And as we look at our weekly Facebook poll, it shows 90. This was a very low vote this week. Not a lot of people voted. But also, too, I wouldn't blame them because I didn't even know who was going to go home to begin with. And you'll find out later when I get to the highlights. Only 94 votes. 92% of the vote went to Christian to be evicted. 8% of the vote went to Sarah Beth. So let's check our alliance updates real quick. So we have our Cookout Alliance still going strong this week. And our Royal Flush Alliance going strong. However, I think I have to get this bad boy out because as of this week, The alliance is dead. That is right. Mr. Derek X took the first shot in the Royal Flush Alliance, not only putting Christian on the block, but Sarah Beth. Yeah, it's safe to say the Royal Flush Alliance is dead at this point. All right, we have some alerts this week. Let me dive into those right now. First off, the jury starts Thursday. Yes, I've been mentioning it the last couple weeks, and now we're almost at jury. So, let me break it down for you as to what's going to happen. So, for the Big Brother jury, the evicted house guests starting Thursday will be sent to the jury house. The jury of 9 will cast their votes for this season's winner of Big Brother. The jury members will still be secluded from the outside world until finale night. The jury will only receive information from the incoming jury members every Friday. So, jury members will only be able to watch footage of competitions, nomination ceremonies, veto meetings, and evictions. That's the only footage they get to see while they're in jury. Jury members will be given the opportunity to interrogate the final 2 house guests on finale night before they cast their votes. So I've got my platform ready to go. So next Friday, we get to put our first house guest on the jury board. And we'll be adding one every week starting next week. So I'm very curious as to who's going to be the first one. And if you've been following along, let me know who you think will be the first member of the jury. All right. Double eviction territory. Okay, so we're starting to head into double eviction territory very soon. I can confirm there will be no double eviction next week. Yeah, it's too late for you. There will be no double eviction this coming Thursday. So I will let you know a week ahead before we get into the double eviction. And we have a new twist. We have a new twist in the Big Brother house that could change the game drastically. Sorry. It's called the High Rollers Club. Let's break it down. Oops. Got too happy with this. Put this down for a second. Okay. So the High Rollers Club. Let's explain. House guests are going to have the chance to win some game-changing powers. But in order to do that, the house guests are going to need money to gamble. So, how do they get that money? Well, that all depends on you, America. You will get to be voting for your favorite house guests to win the most Big Brother bucks. We'll call them BB bucks. House guests will have the option to either spend their money ASAP or save their money to compete for high-costing powers, because the better the power, the higher the cost is. So that's why it's very important to go out and vote for your favorite house guest. Voting for week 1 has ended already, but voting for week 2, if you want to mark this down right now, is going to begin this Thursday night, August 19th at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Again, that's Thursday, August 19th. The voting will end on Friday, August 20th at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. And if you know people who are into Big Brother, please get this message out to them, because this is very important. These votes are going to affect the house guest dramatically. The final week of voting will begin on Thursday, August 26th, on that night. Here is how the prize distribution is going to be broken down. The 3 house guests with the most votes are going to win 100 BB bucks. The next 3 house guests with the most votes are going to receive $75 in BB bucks. And for the rest of the house guests, they're going to win $50 in BB bucks. So that's why it's very important for you to cast your votes. Okay? Remember, again, do not vote until Thursday night, August 19th, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. To vote, here's how you vote. you will text the house guest's name to this number right here, 97979 on your mobile device. I'm not being sponsored, by the way. No one's forcing me to do this. I'm just telling you all. It's text only, so take note of this. If you need a pause, I'll wait. That's fine. Well, I mean, you can't pause a live chat, so you can go back and pause it afterwards. Again, you want to text the house guest's name to 97979. You only get, oh, I forgot to put this. You only get 10 votes. So once you put in your 10 votes, that's it. Okay? Okay, so now that all that talking is done, let's get into some more talking with the highlights of the week. All right, it was an all-out battle for endurance, and it came down to Mr. Derek X and Xavier X. We call him X. So these two are sitting on the block, or not sitting on the block, but they're up on the wall. X thinks he can't go any longer, so he turns to Derek and says, "Look, can we make a deal? Can you save me this week?" And I forgot to put Alyssa's picture. I should have put Alyssa's. It was down to them three: Alyssa, DX, and X. Derek promised both of them safety for the week. So X said, "Okay, I'll drop and give you the win." Oh, sorry. But then after DX wins head of household, X tries to pull a fast one on Derek and says, "Look, I need you to save my team also. I need to make sure everybody on my team is safe." See, this is where I got disappointed in Xavier because, one, you need to be looking out for yourself at this point, especially since the teams are done. And I think it's so funny that they're playing on teams still, basically, even though the teams are done. Only one person can win safety from the head of household competition. So I was a little disappointed in Xavier for trying to pull a fast one on him. Because it doesn't work, obviously, because Christian gets sent home this week. So let's see. Okay, so speaking of which, Derek has this elaborate plan to do a backdoor this week. He wants to target Mr. Christian right here. The only way he can do it is a backdoor. So it's time to put the pawns into place. We have Brittany and Sarah Beth. Now, obviously, this is going to piss the jokers off because why is Brittany sitting on the block yet again? And then you've got my girl over here. She's my final two pick. And this also pisses off Xavier and Alyssa, and Christian, all three of them. Like, what the heck? I thought we made a deal. We're going to keep all the kings safe this week. Does the royal flush not mean anything to you? So the kings are on his case, saying why are you putting our people up on the block? It's too soon to target people. So, all right, moving into the veto competition. This was one of my favorites. It's the prize veto competitions, meaning every round someone will be eliminated from the competition, but they will win a prize or a punishment. So let's see how it breaks down. Round 1, Claire wins. First round, Claire's eliminated. The prize that she collects is the power of veto. Now, that you may be saying, hey, that's great for Claire, but this is the prize competition veto, meaning people that are eliminated after Claire can trade for the power of veto. Round 2, Sarah Beth is eliminated. I was heartbroken at that moment. But she did a smart move. This is a very debatable move, and we can debate about this. She wins $5,000, and she chooses to keep it instead of trading for the veto. And everybody just started looking at her like, Sarah, you're on the block, and you don't trade for the veto. You keep the money. That's a little sketchy. Like, that was reason for people to send her home. So, round 3, Kyland is eliminated. He wins a donkey costume. We call it the Jackass of Clubs, I think, or something like that. He has to wear the donkey costume for a week, and he has to make sandwiches for whoever Big Brother tells him to make it for. He chooses to keep the prize rather than trade. I guess he wanted Claire to hold on to the veto, and as far as Sarah Beth, he wanted to give her money. All right, Derek X is eliminated in round 4, and he decides to trade the Queen's card costume for the power of veto. So he trades with Claire. So now Claire has this card costume where she's dressed up as a big queen of hearts or whatever card. And she has to wear that for a week. Oh, Kylan has to keep his costume for a week as well. And Claire has to do a game of 52 card pickup. I know we all like those games, right? 52 card pickup. All right, it comes down to Alyssa and Brittany for the power of veto. And in a neck and neck competition, Alyssa is eliminated in the final round. But Alyssa gets a really good prize. She gets a call from home. I don't know when. I don't know if she gets the call first or a video call. I don't know. But if Alyssa survives 4 more evictions, she will get a video call from a loved one. So, yeah. So, good job for Alyssa. So, Brittany wins the competition, and she gets to choose from any of the prizes. She trades her prize of the Lord of the Latrine. The Lord of the Latrine, someone has to stand guard at the bathroom. Someone has to stand guard at the bathroom and lock the bathroom. And whenever someone has to go, he has to announce that someone is going to the bathroom, like a gesture. But Brittany said, heck no, I want the veto. So she took the veto home. So good for you, Brittany. I'm really so proud of you because you worked hard. You've been put on the block so many times. It's about time you got your veto win. So good job. This is best case scenario for Derek X because it is time to put the backdoor play into motion. Sorry, I need to drink something. You ramble on for so long, you just get dehydrated. You got to keep the hydration going. All right, so it is time to put his backdoor plan into motion. Now, he makes one fatal mistake, though. Knowing that Alyssa is with Christian, you plan to go tell Alyssa all about your backdoor plan? No. Why would you do that, DX? Because you know she's going to go run and tell Christian. And he tells her this hours before the veto meeting. This is just crazy. I would have kept my mouth shut the whole time and just dealt with the repercussions afterwards. So, of course, she runs and tells Christian. Christian is fuming at this point. So, so they get into it like right then and there. And right before the veto meeting begins, he pulls DX aside and says, hey, you're not going to get jury votes. Nobody's going to vote for you in the jury. You need to think of jury management right now. A lot of people are going to be gunning for you next week if I'm gone. I'm like your shield. So ultimately, DX feels that this is the best move. This is the best move for him. So he decides to put Christian on the block. And I think it's so funny because here's my girl Whitney over here. If you recall in the last Big Brother recap show, I mentioned how Whitney campaigned to put DX on the block under Christian's HOH, I may add. Take Whitney off the block and put Derek on the block. Well, Christian paid for that mistake this week because Derek pulled a fast one on him and got him out the house. But not before Tiffany and Hannah decided to put up a fight. If you also recall, I think I mentioned last week how Tiffany and Hannah were getting eerie of Sarah Beth. And because they're on the Cookout Alliance with Kyland, and they're noticing how Kai is getting close to Sarah Beth. Like they almost look like a couple, if I can be honest. And this isn't sitting well. Keep in mind also, Hannah was on the block last week, and all Sarah Beth was doing last week was trying to campaign for Hannah to go home. And Tiffany caught wind of that. So this is their perfect opportunity for a vote flip. And it almost happened this week. This was the first week of Big Brother that I felt scared. I didn't know what was going to happen. So I was shaking all week, and I said nothing is official until Thursday night when someone enters the diary room to cast their vote. Ultimately, the signs came out, and it showed that Christian was giving up, and he knew his time was coming. So now, also, while the campaigning was on for Christian to stay, Derek is starting to get a little ticked off at Tiffany. The cracks of the Cookout Alliance is starting to come. Derek is not happy with trying to orchestrate the Cookout Alliance because somebody has to take charge at some point. So this does not sit well with Derek. So he goes outside and talks to Azah and says, look, I'm tired of her running this stuff. Called her the B word and everything. Like, she does not run me. She's not my mother. So this is what I like. What I like about Derek Frazier, is he can read people so good. Like, seriously. So the fact that he wants to call out Tiffany blows me away. Like, I'm all for it. But here's the thing. You two have not been trying in competition. You guys need to get out there and start winning comps to make this happen. I hope that one of these two get HOH soon. I would expect DF, Big D, to try to backdoor Tiffany at some point. Yep. Now, let me tell you something. Tiffany is playing an outstanding social game. And she's starting to become someone who's going to be hard to beat, especially now that they're in the jury. I think now soon is going to be it's going to be time soon to get rid of her. But they might have to get through Hannah first in order for that to happen. So it all comes down to this next HOH. Now the HOHs are going to start getting more intense. And now we have to start thinking about jury management. And you're going to hear me say that a lot soon. Because jury management is where you need to make sure that if you know for a fact you're going to target someone and you know they're going home, you need to make sure you end on good terms. Because that person could be voting for you to win $750,000. So if I have to vote somebody out, I would play nice. Or if I've been talking about them behind their back, I need to like kind of pull the wool over their head and be like, look, okay, I really tried to get you some votes, but it's not going to work. And I want to approach you up front and be like, look, it's not going to be in your favor. We're going to vote you out. That is how you do jury management. That is going to be key for the remaining of the season, because it is possible to have a bitter jury. So I've seen it happen so many times in the past decade. It just, so many people have been robbed of the grand prize because the jury is just bitter. And I don't like bitter juries. So just admit it was a good game move. Try not to hold a grudge against people and vote smart. That is how the winner of Big Brother should be determined. So, oh my God, so much talking. Well, we have reached the end of our chat. Let me go get into motion. And I'll shed some light on the weeks to come. Next week, we will be sending our first house guest to the jury house, and they will have to spend all week by their lonesome. You know, that actually sounds like a good idea. I want to go to the jury house. What are you talking about? If I don't win the big money, I want to go spend some time alone in the jury house. So be ready for that next Friday when we will update our jury board. So we are now getting close to the halfway mark. We're about at the halfway mark of Big Brother 23. Tell me who you think has a chance to win it all. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel to see more live streams and previous videos. I will have a new live stream next Friday, and we will talk everything about this week, including the High Rollers Club, see how the results for the first week of voting went. And I'm trying to work out a schedule to like have a constant live stream premiere rather than just jumping around. So don't worry, we'll be doing that at some point. If you want to email me, nickmorales2012@gmail.com. I will answer any questions, anything about Big Brother or music or anything. My Snapchat, I've been getting lazy about my eviction predictions. I need to work on that too. I would have chosen Christian as well because obviously Sarah Beth is my final two picks. So I would not have picked her to go home. It would have been Christian for sure. So Snapchat will be nickmorales96. Feel free to add me. Again, we will see you next Friday for the next live stream. And thank you for watching this special Friday the 13th edition of Nick's Big Brother Recap Show. See you later.